They both got pardoned, and I hope that when they rubbing shoulders with them Trump supporters, they're able to keep in mind that no matter how much them folks engaged in colorblindness, they seen the racial inequality for themselves.
Reality TV star Todd Chrisley has been pardoned. He has been released from prison, and if you don't know why he was there, he went there for bank and tax fraud, and Trump decided to, pardon him and let him out. But his very first conference and the things he said and the experience he shared on that conference has been going viral and sparking a conversation. I genuinely do not think this conversation is new because I think I've seen on a couple occasions Black people say the same thing. But maybe if it's coming from this person, maybe some people who have always labeled Black people to have a victim mentality are going to listen since it is coming from their person. The inequality that Black American people in prison face, that there are certain things that you can do that these people cannot do, and he even stated that you of course know why I can do that and they cannot do that. For the people who are going to be like, oh, racism is over, Black people need to get off of their victim mentality. This is another video reinstating that it is still very much alive and these people are still treated way differently than their other people. He stated it, and I see so many comments of people stating that yes, it doesn't play when it comes to Black people because he has a Black granddaughter and he's the one taking care of his Black granddaughter, so he is going to speak up. People are giving him a big shout out for speaking up, especially for the fact that it was Trump that pardoned him, coming out to stand for Black people and the inequalities of Black American people in America. People are having a lot to say and reacting to his video. Without wasting much time, let's jump straight into it.
Y'all heard what Todd said about Black folks after being pardoned by Trump? Listen.
This is a long shot because so many people are told no. And being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were denied programming. They were denied access to certain things. I was not denied that, but we know why I wasn't denied that. And so I think that is a much bigger picture that we all as a society as a whole need to look at, that we are one. And whether you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, at the end of the day, when you're in that hospital, you don't care if it's a Democrat treating you or a Republican. Now, some of you may, but I want whoever's going to be the best.
This does not warrant an invite to the cookout. Because like my granny and them always said, you're not finna get rewarded for doing some shit you supposed to do. He supposed to acknowledge the inequalities in the system. Just think about it. How many folks look like us you think locked up for the same exact thing he was, but they waiting on commissary and a release date? We only represent about 14% of the general population. Our community represents 38% of the federal prison population. They both got pardoned, and I hope that when they rubbing shoulders with them Trump supporters, they're able to keep in mind that no matter how much them folks engaged in colorblindness, they seen the racial inequality for themselves. But Mac gets always love to ask, can you name anything that I can do as a white person that you can't do as a Black person? Shit, ask Todd. I'm going to start saying that from now on. Education is a...
I'll be honest, I might have unfairly judged Todd Chrisley. When he said the feds got effed, I thought it was about arrogance. But when I heard what he said about the justice system, now I think I see it a little bit differently. But just hear me out. While he was serving time at Pensacola Federal Prison Camp, Todd said he noticed a major difference in how Black inmates were being treated in comparison to him. He said young Black men were constantly being denied access to self-betterment programs he was allowed into with no issue. And he even admitted, you know why, I wasn't denied that. So when he said the feds got effed, maybe it wasn't him being cocky. Maybe it was him calling out a broken system, one that dishes out harsh consequences based on race and class. It doesn't excuse everything, but it does give more context to that comment and more weight than I gave it before, or even gave him credit for. Honestly, I think this shows growth. He got a second chance, and instead of him running to the cameras, he's speaking out about what he saw behind bars. Because if someone with privilege is using their platform to say, hey, this system is unfair, we need to listen. Stay tuned, stay seated, and stay ready, because the tea pouring never stops. And sometimes the real growth comes after the headlines. So, Todd Chrisley, if you see this, which you probably won't, I think I judged you unfairly. And I'm sorry.
And I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. This is probably the only pardon that I actually approve of. Now, say what you want about the Chrisleys, but they didn't always give us TV gold. Now, if you guys haven't heard, Todd Chrisley and his wife Julie have actually been pardoned by the president. And I do understand that a lot of people are like, well, why did they get pardoned? And this is what happens when, when you have money. Yeah, this is exactly what happens when you have money. But you have to also realize they also gave us TV gold. Now, mind you, they went to jail for tax evasion and fraud, which is the perfect TV plot for television. Because have you not met the Chrisleys? Even before they got charged with fraud and scheming the government, they already look like schemers. Now, according to the Associated Press, Donald Trump announced on Tuesday that he was pardoning the reality show stars. If you don't know why the Chrisleys are in jail, it's because back in 2022, they had got charged with trying to defraud Atlanta banks for about $30 million in loans. Now, the article goes on to say that they were also obscuring their earnings because remember, they had a reality TV show, so they're probably not listing how much money they were making on the show, plus their business ventures. Now, Julie got 7 years and Todd got 12, so people were basically anticipating their release, but it looks like they're getting out a little bit earlier. And as soon as they release, I'm gonna need a reality show. I'm gonna need a reality show immediately. Because one, I want to know why you was scamming. Point blank, period. You got the pardon. Now tell us why you was scamming. And tell us about life in federal prison. Because unlike y'all, a lot of people ain't going to jail. So we need to know, what was y'all experiencing up in the...
I see some of y'all having the conversation about Todd Chrisley's pardon speech when it comes to us being discriminated or treated unfairly while we're locked up. And to be honest, number one, we have to be honest on this part. Some people is going to hear it that wouldn't hear it any other way. Is it going to make a difference? Who knows? What I am going to say is the reason why Todd could speak on this is because he was locked in. It's because he had no other choice but to see it. I say that to say this. I've said it before. Some of us won't be so heartless towards black people, brown people, Hispanic people, people. I'm not gonna say y'all know them other people. I'm not gonna say because deep down y'all good. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Y'all good. Y'all don't have nothing. Let me get back. The point I'm trying to make is sometimes too many people make judgment call or hate off of people only because misinformation, only because of TV, social media, or you grew up and your mama said that these people is no good. We won't be so cheering and heartless towards other things that other races going through if we was to see really what they come from, what they're going through, how they really live. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to cut it off because I'm getting in trouble.
And I know Trump was not expecting Todd Chrisley to get up there and talk about the judicial system and how African Americans are not being treated fairly. Kudos to him. Round of applause, because that's what literally having a voice and having privilege, that's what people are literally supposed to do. And it's like, yes, it may not make a drastic change right now, but talking up matters. Using your platform, using the fact that you have privilege to highlight what the hell is going on. Like, he's only been out about 24 hours now and he's making sure he's getting to what needs to be said, okay? He ain't sugarcoating, and I'm sure Mr. President did not expect him to come. I'm sure he's looking now like, how can I take that pardon back? Because that's not what you're supposed to be highlighting. He wants you to be highlighting the, his little slogan that he be saying. But no, he's getting up there and talking about how in the judicial system that African Americans are not getting the same privileges or not getting the same resources that are in the jail system, in the prisons, and that's something that needs to be talked about. Because when African Americans come out and they say it, it's just like, boo-hoo, so what? And now someone else is getting up and using a platform to make sure what needs to be said is.
Todd Chrisley said something in his press conference that really stood out to me. Actually, two things. So I'll make this two parts. The first thing he talked about was the day that he left, there were 315 men that stood and cheered him on. And they said, don't forget us. Now, here's what I know for sure. You can never forget. You never forget a place that was supposed to break you that really ends up making you. I also could just visualize those men standing and just genuinely being happy. Now, do I think that everybody is? Absolutely not. I'm not that ignorant. However, the support in the community that you get in a place, in a dark place, is just something that's indescribable. It made me think about the day that I left. I actually had the opportunity to either leave at 9 a.m. or leave at 12 p.m. in noon. I actually chose to leave later, 3 hours later. Most people would have been like, no, I would have been trying to get out of there as fast as possible. Yeah, but there was also something that I had committed to doing and supporting before I left, and I wanted to hold up my end of the bargain. And I just remember that day standing at that door and several of my friends, Julie included, coming down and watching me leave out of those doors. One of my friends began to sing a song. It's over now. And that was a song that I had been listening to in the chapel and actually practicing with a group. We were singing in the chapel all the time. I feel like I can make it. The storm is over now. It's over. It's over.
So I finally watched the entire Todd Chrisley press conference, right? Talked about a lot of things. He talked about his experiences. They asked him questions, yada, 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 right? There was just one or two parts that kind of tickled me, right? So we all know Trump pardoned him, right? They got to talking about how he felt about the charges and if Todd would do anything different, than what happened before. He proceeds to say, in which I believe him because I read the case and I understand what happened, he said he wouldn't do anything different because he didn't do anything wrong. Yada, yada, yada. He goes into talking about how the Biden administration is at fault. And can't no one tell me that that was a part of the pardon deal. You have to blame Biden for everything, right? Right. And I know Trump is pissed. And then he goes on to talk about how different he was treated in prison than the African-American males that he met in jail. Savannah Chrisley did what she had to do to get her family out of jail. And I'm just saying, she did a damn good job.
So Todd Chrisley gave a press conference yesterday. His first press conference, his first interview, whatever have you, since being pardoned and released from prison. During the press conference, Todd Chrisley stated that he was granted access to things in prison that blacks were denied access to. Well, Todd, I tell you what, imagine you being locked up in prison and us being out here free, law-abiding black folks, right? And we are denied access to fair housing, fair health care, fair employment, etc. And we haven't broken any laws. And the folks that are inside of a prison, they are denied access to things that they should be granted access to. But Todd, you ain't telling us nothing that we don't deal with on an everyday basis, man, because we dealing with it out here. I'm glad you got to see it for yourself in there, but we deal with it twice as much on the other side of those walls, and we haven't broken any laws. So when you go down there to your visit on Pennsylvania Avenue, maybe you should tell the person that's in charge about how your experience was. Because in there, you experienced that, we're experiencing it twice as much. And we haven't broken any laws. We're law-abiding citizens, and we deal with stuff on a daily basis.
What do you guys think about what these people are saying? I saw so many funny comments on that videos of people reacting to his video stating that Trump is about to send him back there since he wants to open his mouth and say this thing, knowing where Trump actually stands in all of this, that he is about to send him back into that prison. But a lot of people are saying, yes, he has a black granddaughter. He is going to stand for black people, and he has always been and I feel like he's able to come out to talk about it that way because he saw it. He experienced it. Imagine how bad it came to come and even say that on that press conference. Imagine the things that he witnessed and it was not like, nah, this is not the way human beings should be treated. Why are they not treating them nicely, or why are they not treating them as nice as they treat palm-colored people? Imagine what he had seen, the way these people treat black people, to be able to come out and say, you know what, there is a lot of injustice and inequalities going on inside that place, and black Americans are not having it easy at all. Just because of the color of their skin, they are not being seen as human. Was very quiet during the election. Some are saying yes, he never really actually liked Trump. It was because, he just wanted to get out. That was why it was very quiet. Like, he's not in support of so many of these things that this new administration is doing. People are even coming in at other instances stating that yes, even Black people pay more taxes than white people. Like, there's just so much injustice. There's just so much things that Black people face just because they are Black. And, these people are telling them to keep short. And they are still carrying victim mentality, like something that has happened years, decades ago. Like, they are still holding on to it. But yes, this is 2025. This man literally got out like a few weeks ago and is saying that in 2025, this is what the people side there are going through. That yes, it's not over. Not victim mentality on Black people's side for speaking up about the injustice that they face as a Black person in the country. Let me hear what you guys think about this video and what you think about what people are saying. On this video, I am going to see you guys in the next one.